Here's the next little area that we're going to be working on in the house, this little nook in my hallway. So I live in a ranch and this is just like an awkward little area. Between the kitchen is through there, bedrooms are off to the right, and then the living room is right behind me. So there was this little nook built in when we moved here, which is super cute. I don't ever know what to do with it, but I do still have Christmas decor in there right now. It's almost March. My mom's gonna make fun of me because I just made fun of her about having Christmas decor up last weekend, but anyways. And then down here is the dog food. So that needs to stay. I don't really have somewhere else I can put it in my house. And then the kids' school pictures are just on the table there, some storage. This is literally all of my camera equipment tucked in there, so it doesn't need to go there, but the dog bed needs to stay. Need to incorporate this somehow, but we're going to like build a like ladder shelf that's going to gradually get smaller as it goes up the wall.
The size wood you use for the shelves may vary depending on how wide you want them to be. I used one 1x10x8 and one 1x8x8 for the surface of the 4 shelves. When shopping for wood, you want to find the straightest pieces possible. My camera wouldn't focus here, but you want to check all sides, the flat sides, front and back, as well as both edges. Holding the wood up like this will help you see any curves, warping, or cupping in the boards. And for the shelf edges, I used 2 1x2x8s. For the sides of the ladder, I used 2 1x4x8s, and all of my boards are common boards, which is the least expensive option in my Home Depot. So the total I paid for the wood was $59.76. These ladders can go for well over $100. Before I can start building, I need to get everything out of this space, and I wanted to paint the walls. They were gray, and I wanted them to be white so my decor can be the feature.
All right, now I need to measure how wide I'm gonna have the shelves, because I don't want it to like stick out too far on this side, and then you're running into it whenever you're trying to walk into the kitchen or into the bedrooms or wherever. The container already goes right there. I might try to move it over a little bit just so it's not quite in the way, but I at least want the shelf to cover, like sit right on top of this. But then I need to account for the sides, the legs. So let's do 32. So I have a 1x10 out there that I'm gonna glue 2 of them together. I think this should work. I cut down 1x10s to be 32 inches long. I cut 2 of them, and we're gonna glue these together. And I'm sorry if my mic is, or my audio is sounding a little bit strange, because I bought new like wireless mics and it keeps like falling inside of my shirt. So I think it sounds muffled, but I didn't want to have it like sticking out like this. Clearly it's not that attractive, but you know, it is what it is. I'm gonna take my clamps, really long clamps that I have, and we're going to clamp these together so that they can dry for a few hours.
I did the same thing with the 1x8, cut 2 pieces at 32 inches and glued them together. The last 2 shelves I did not need to alter. I used the remaining 1x10 and 1x8. Wood is not the exact measurement it says on the tag, so my shelf widths ended up being 18.5 inches, 14.5 inches, 9.5 inches, and 7.5 inches. Next, I can add the edges of the shelves using the 1x2. I cut the 2 sides the same width as the board, and then the back will sit in between. The 1x2s will sit on top of the shelf. You could also add them on the outside, but I preferred this look. For an immediate hold, and so I could continue working, I used wood glue and brad nails. Once I had all the shelves built, I'm going to sand them all down using my palm sander and a 100 grit sandpaper. I also rounded all of the edges. I don't have any fancy tools to round the edges, so I just use my palm sander and go back and forth from the front, roll it over the edges, then to the back, and keep doing this until it's as rounded as I like. I think this gives a more professional look.
All right, so we need to cut at a 10-degree angle on both sides of the 1x3 so that it's going to lean up against the wall. I'm going to clamp together my two boards 10 degrees on the miter saw. You can see where the laser is, where it's going to cut. It's going to cut off that triangle, that little wedge. I have a mark where I want it to be. I want the top to be 2 inches wide. And then we're going to cut this piece down.
For the opposite side of the board that will sit on the floor, you cut the 10-degree angle widthwise instead of lengthwise like we just did. Now we can start painting all of the parts. I used Rust-Oleum Ultra Cover Premium Latex Paint in Flat Black.
And now we need to start attaching the shelves, putting this whole thing together. And I know this angle is a little bit weird to film, but you can see, I'll give you a close-up here in just a second once I have these where they need to go. But they are the angles that we made. One slopes against the floor, one slopes up here against the wall. So I'm gonna start with the biggest shelf here. Make sure that it's sitting. I might need to move these out just a little bit more. This one can go straight up against the wall. I'm fine with that. And then is that big enough? That's perfect. Okay. All right, so I do want to make sure that it is level. Oh, look at that. Both this way and this way. Oh, it's a little bit not level this way. Okay.
To attach the shelves, I drilled a pilot hole first and then used my spade bit to drill out a small hole that the screw will sit in, making it flush with the board. Then I took a wood screw and added one on each side of the shelf. That way I could adjust anything that may not have been level, but each shelf does have 4 screws with 2 on each leg. To get the spacing even between my shelves, I cut down a scrap board to 16 inches. This also helped the shelf have something to rest on while I screwed it in place since I
disappointed in myself. I didn't think about how tall this was going to be, and that was my stupid mistake. I didn't measure. I should have waited to cut down the 1x3s until I knew exactly how tall this was going to be. I was just guessing it would be like 6 feet tall. And that turns out that it is a little bit too short for what I wanted. I just think it looks a little bit funny kind of stopping right there. I think it should go all the way up because right now I have 3 shelves and I want there to be 4. I think it would look better with 4, but then to make it that ladder shelf look, you do need like the tops to be sticking out. And if I add a 4th shelf, it comes up like right to the top. So that's not what I want. So this is probably a terrible idea, but I'm gonna take the little wedges that I cut off on the backs that go up there. I'm going to glue them back together, wood glue them, brad nail them back together, and then attach the piece I cut off and cut this down. This is a little bit too tall if I have it like the full length. It's not, or it's too tall, so I'm gonna have to cut this down a little bit, but then I'm just kind of going to add to the top of this shelf. And it should be okay. That part is just gonna be decorative. It's not gonna have any weight on it, so it should be okay.
Here's what the top looks like after I MacGyvered it back together. I let this dry overnight, but the next day realized I just needed to get new 1x4s and start over on the legs. And I'm so glad that I did, even though this gave me some additional work and having to repaint after I added the shelves back on.
So I've seen a few creators do this where they take the antique Waverly wax and apply it to black paint, and it ends up giving it like more of a rich, deep look to it. So I thought I would give it a try on this piece, and I'm just using some baby wipes to apply it and then shop cloths to wipe it back, letting it sit on there for a second. Bless you. I just poured a little bit into a souffle cup here. I'm gonna do the front half of this shelf so you can see the difference. It is really subtle, but I think it does add a little bit of depth. So I hope you can see the difference. I know I've always had a little bit of trouble seeing the difference when other creators would do this and seeing it on camera. So it seems like it's picking it up, and it just adds, it doesn't make it look brown. I feel like the camera's kind of making it look brown, but it does just look like a little bit deeper and richer. You guys, I have hit the thrifting jackpot. In my opinion, I found this new store near me. It's more of a consignment thrift store. So some of the prices are a little bit higher than a typical like Goodwill or like Salvation Army or something like that. But I still thought their prices were really reasonable, and it's a lot of like, it's right on the outskirts of one of like the richer neighborhoods. So really great, unique, high-end pieces, found on a budget, and I'm going to share with you what I have picked up over the last week and a half. I found this place about a week ago, and I have been there 3 times already. That's how obsessed I am with this place. I can't remember if I don't think I showed you guys this piece, but I found this was the first time I went. Look at that etching, that beautiful detail on this vase. So stunning. So unique. I had to pick it up. This one was more expensive. This was $18, but again, love the detail on it. Next up, I have all of these brass candle holders. So I found quite a few of them. I have been looking for brass candle holders in all of my thrift stores for months. Seriously, months. So when I found this place, they literally had an entire wall full of various brass. They had like one of those china closets that was just filled every shelf with brass candle holders. Apparently this one, I love. This one's probably one of my favorite because it is so modern looking and slender. It wasn't a big set of like 5. But when I found this, there was only one there, and the girl said that maybe someone else had picked up the rest of them and they didn't realize there was one missing to the set. So I only got one. That's a bummer. 2 of these ones are really heavy. These are probably like 3 pounds, this one. This set was $10. This one she rang me up for, it was like $3, which I still thought was a great deal. And then these last set, so I wanted varying heights, and then these were $4 for this set. So different heights so that I can stagger them. I also have some like taller ones that I found at a regular thrift store. I think it was like at a Goodwill or something a couple of months ago. So now I have some great height variation. Sticking with the brass, this is the cutest little teapot. Like, oh my gosh, how adorable is that? Has the little etching marks on it. I just love it. So stinking cute. This one was $8, but again, like what a find. I just absolutely love it. This one didn't say anything about where it was made, so I'm not sure, but just so adorable. And then along with the metal, we got this copper tin, which is just so authentically patinaed. Like, can you see all of that green patina inside of there? I just absolutely love this. It was so cool, had to pick it up. This one was $4. And then this piece, this isn't super unique or anything. I just really like the colors because I thought it would go with my decor. This was $4 as well. This is just one of those like little Boston crockery pots. Nothing super special about it. I just like the color and the size of it. And then this super unique vase. I love the shape of this. This thing is so cool. It was made in Spain and it was made out of recycled glass. Let me see if I can get it to focus there. So made out of recycled glass, super cool. Love the color of it, love the shape. It is just so different and I haven't seen anything like this. So this is a piece I picked up at Hobby Lobby just a couple of weeks ago. I'm trying to like get out of the way so you can see everything. This one has like all of the little like bubbles in it. And I thought it was really interesting. Again, love the shape of it. Like how cute do those two look together? And then they're like the different height variation. It's a little bit of a different shade, the Hobby Lobby one, but these are just so cool. I love them. And the Hobby Lobby one was probably like $16 and this one was $6. The next little glass piece that I have is this crackle glass. How amazing. It's like a little diffuser, one of those old school diffusers. I think I'm gonna paint the top of this. I just don't like the color of it. It's like a pinky chrome and I don't know, I don't like it. It doesn't go with my home at all. So I think I might paint that part, but I just loved the glass on it and the texture. And you can see in there, it has the little diffuser. I don't know if this is like a candle, one of those. I don't think it is. I think it's just like a scent diffuser, but I'm not sure. If anybody knows, let me know in the comments. This one doesn't have the price on it. I can't remember how much this guy was, but it was less than $10. I know that. The last little jar that we have is this adorable little guy, like so tiny, but it was an amber glass and it says Bellans on it. I'm not sure what that is, but I just picked it up because I thought I love the color of it again, and I thought it would just be really cute for just like small little shelf decor. This was $4. Next I have this little lantern guy. It just looks very oriental, very ornate. It's nothing special, I know that. It says made in China on the bottom, so I know this was just like a reproduction piece, but I thought it was really cool and it would just like go nicely somewhere in my home and maybe up on this ladder shelf. I'm not putting all of this stuff on my ladder shelf. I just really wanted to share with you what I found because I was so excited about it. But there is some rust on here. So I don't know if I'm gonna spray paint this or leave it as is. The door doesn't really close either. Like I couldn't get it to stay shut. So it needs some work, but it was $4 and I just thought it was really cute. Couldn't pass it up. Next I have this little basket, like again, so tiny. I needed small stuff for my shelf decor. I don't have a lot of really small things. I have bigger things. I've gotten some medium things recently and now I need some smalls, but this has leather handles on it. I just love those, so cute. And this is in such good, perfect, pristine condition. Like there was another one there that was similar to this. It says, Longaberger baskets, hand woven, designed in the USA, and then it says 1991. I'm not sure if that's when this was made or if that's when the person who originally owned it bought it, because that part is handwritten on the bottom compared to like the stamp from the company above it. So I'm not sure, but they had another one very similar to this, such good condition, so cute. Love like all of the little nail holes in it or the nails in it. Holding the weave down, but the other one had a plastic liner to it. It didn't have the leather handles, and it was $16 because of the plastic liner that it had. And this one, the price isn't on this one anymore, but I think it was only like $3 or $4 for this one. So I was like, I'll take the one without the liner. These big wood guys, like, oh my gosh, I have an idea for these. I want to upcycle them, give them a little makeover. So stay tuned for that coming in a future video, but they are very large, very on trend right now, in my opinion anyways, my kind of trend, my home decor style, but nice and big pieces for some candles or for staging or for risers or whatever we're gonna turn them into. This one was $16 for the pair. This next one is a little different. I had an idea for it as soon as I saw it. So it is these salad bowls. Let me put the big thing down. Well, let me show you. These salad bowls, it's a giant bowl and then it came with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the smaller ones in it. So I love they're that beautiful like cherry or mahogany. I'm not really sure. I'm not very good with my woods. And then it's black on the outsides. There is some chipping and some damage, but like I said, I have an idea for this of something I want to turn it into for like an upcycle project. So stay tuned for that again, but these were just really fun and I love the shape of them, love the design. Oh, and this was $8 for the full set. All right, I saved the best for last. This is, well, two different items, two last items. At least this was the best in my opinion. I found this vintage Polaroid camera. Like, how stinking cool is that? I absolutely love it. It was $20, but oh my gosh, how great in my opinion. This is just so cool. You have to let me know in the comments, like, do you think this is the coolest thing or what? I absolutely love it. And then just being a YouTuber, being on camera, I thought it was so cool to add. This is definitely going on my ladder shelf. I want to display this for sure. And then what came, it didn't come with it, but it was on the same shelf, is this Kodak Master Photography book. And I just thought it was so amazing. Like, look at this. It tells you, let me find like a really cool one. Like, if you want to get contrast in your images, how to do that, step-by-step guide. This was from the 50s. What did it say on it? 1957. Like, how amazing. This is from Rochester, New York, Eastman Kodak Company, 1957. So I just thought it was really neat. This was $10. Like, what a steal I thought on this. So it's going to be sitting on the shelf with my camera. I love it. And the last thing that I have, so this consignment shop is also a Dixie Belle retailer, or a girl who has a booth there is a Dixie Belle retailer, and I have not tried their paints yet. That's actually the reason I found this place, was because I was searching for Dixie Belle retailers in my area, and I found this one probably several months ago, but I could never find the building that it was located in. So I would drive up and down the street multiple times anytime I was out in that area, drive past and be like, where is this building? I cannot find it. And then finally I found it, which was about a week and a half ago whenever I finally went there. And I met the Dixie Belle girl, got some supplies, and then got all of this great merchandise as well. But I picked up a lot of Dixie Belle stuff, but I wanted to share with you this transfer that I got because I do have some ideas for this coming up in the Makeover May series that I do with Randy from the DIY Struggle. We started that last year, doing it again this year. So stay tuned for that. This will be coming up and I will be adding it to some fun furniture pieces. So that's all for the haul that I wanted to share with you. But let's get to styling this beautiful ladder shelf.
I hope you guys enjoyed this DIY ladder build and thrift haul. If you want to see another furniture build I did, check out this video right here, and I'll see you in the next one.